What's up, family? Welcome back to another week of the Pod on the Go show. I'm your host, Raz. And this is what we're going to be talking about: endurance. Something that should really be on the top of your mind before you even start a podcast. And of course, that's what we're doing this week. We're doing Podcast 101 for people looking to start a podcast, people who want to, improve their podcast. But most of the people who've never done one before, they're looking to launch a new podcast. So that's what Podcasting 101 is for. If you're new to this. And endurance should be one of the first things you're thinking about. It should be top of mind. You should write that down at the very top of your podcast notebook. No weeks off. All right. And why? Because when the going gets tough, the tough get going. I wrote an American proverb. I don't know who created it, but it's definitely something I heard at a young age and I didn't understand it. But now as I get older, I've interviewed a ton of people. I've met a ton of business owners and podcasters, and whoever's the most successful, they've also been doing it for a long, long time. They've been doing it for years, literally decades, a lot of times. That's how you know. That's really the marker for success is how long have you done it? How long are you going to keep doing it? How patient are you? To me, that's the key to success right there. So it's a mindset show, right? You're trained. You can't be stopped. It might take you a little while to get going, but you can't be stopped. There's nothing that can be put on the train tracks that can stop you. There's no, you are a unstoppable force. Okay. And there's no immovable object that can stop you. You might have to slow down from time to time, but you're never going to be stopped. And that's the mindset you have to have. Whatever idea, whatever notebook you have for your podcast, make sure, please write that down at the very top of it. I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop. And trust me, because life is going to get in the way. Life's going to happen. Your kid's going to get sick. You got to go pick them up from school. A parent's going to pass away. Somebody's going to call you from your job, from your career, and you're going to have to go put out a fire in the middle of a recording. Something that's going to happen a lot. There's a guest that's going to cancel on you or want to reschedule the interview because something comes up in their life. That happens a lot. You have to be prepared for it. So what can you do to be prepared for that? You can release an older episode. If you have, so another thing to think about is recording, 10 episodes before you start, 5 to 10 episodes before you even start. And then that way you have some that you can refer to whenever life gets in the way, because it's going to happen. So it's some you can pre-record and then release whenever something comes up. You don't have a chance to have a new interview that comes out. Something else you can do, you can have backup episodes ready. Somebody's always going to cancel on you. It happens. Like I said, it happens all the time. And it just means that it just means that there's a priority that came up more important than the podcast. Something I hate. This happened to me a couple times recently. This also happens with people who aren't that successful, in my opinion. But it's people who they call me to catch up, right? And then they get a call on the other line and they say, "I gotta go. It's a business client. I've been trying to get in touch with them for months, and they're finally calling me back." This happened like 3 times to me. So why even call me and waste my time if I'm not that important to you? Don't call me if I'm not, if our conversation is important. So yeah, that's random. But it's going to happen to you with podcasting as well. So have a backup episode ready. You can release an older episode. You can release a short episode. You can release a 5 or 10-minute episode instead of doing a hour-long interview like you usually do, an hour-long presentation like you do. You can just release a short 5 or 10-minute episode and let people know what's going on. Let them know that, something came up. I had a tragic accident happened and I can't record this week. So I just wanted to, keep you guys informed. That's how you engage your audience. That's, just keep them informed. Let them know. Talk to them. If you have any listeners at all, they want to hear you on a regular basis. So talk to them. It's you and it's them. That's the relationship. So you have to let them know. That said, you can also combine, release a 5-minute episode and let your listeners know why you're not going to be there and that you're playing an older, popular episode that you think everybody should hear. So you can do that. Another reason to focus on endurance and make sure that you're not going to stop doing your podcast is it's a question you should ask yourself. How good can you become? How good of an interviewer can you be? How good can you get at preparing a topic or researching? How good can you get at answering questions live? These are all questions that can only be answered by going through something and not stopping, by enduring, by by continuing to grow and continuing to go. That's the only way you're going to get there. How good can you become? I remember when I was running on a regular basis, and I remember the first time I ran 10 miles and how hard it was. Ran/walked, and how hard it was. It was crazy hard. But it took me literally like 4 months of running every day and starting running only a half mile every day. And then you go to a mile every day, and then you go to 2 miles every day. And then before you know it, I can do a 5K without stopping. And then I say I'm going to push myself to 10 miles because I know if I want to do a half marathon, then I have to get to 10 miles at some point, right? But I couldn't have figured that out if I would have stopped along the way. I couldn't have achieved that in my life if I would have stopped along the way. Some of you probably run 10 miles a day listening to this, but not many people do that. And I definitely have never done it before. So yeah, how good can you become as a podcaster? Next is you also don't know when you're going to blow. Like, you don't know what's going to go viral. You don't know which episode is going to be your most successful episode and what people are going to like. So you have to keep putting out content until you figure that out. At some point, 1,000 people you're going to go from 0 to 1,000, and 1,000 people are going to be listening to and watching your interviews or watching your show, your podcast, right? But you don't know when it's going to happen. It could be a week from now. It could be 3 years from now. You could be doing a podcast for 3 years before you even blow. It just is what it is. It's how the world works. It's how the world turns. So you have to keep going. So you have to have that in your mind before you even start your podcast, that you're not going to stop. You're not going to stop. You're going to keep going. Here's what we got. Next to last. A man may die, nations may rise and fall, but an idea lives on. Ideas have endurance without death. John F. Kennedy. If you are putting out quality content, if you are doing your research, if you are pulling clips from shows and prepping as hard as you can, and you're doing it every day, and you're doing your best to put out quality content, valuable snippets that can improve a person's life, your podcast will live on. You might die, but your podcast is going to live on, and it's going to affect the world. And that's really, at the end of the day, that's what you should be striving to do. Like, yeah, you could probably go out there and and talk about trendy topics and make a ton of money, but it's not going to last. It's not going to last. Like, think about, I talked about James Taylor last week. Think about James Taylor. He wrote, I think it's Fire and Rain or Caroline in My Mind. He wrote a lot of great songs early in his career. 30 years later, 40 years later, he's still singing the same songs because those songs touch people's lives. Same thing with Tupac. Same thing with Biggie. Same thing with, Whitney Houston. These songs are songs that touch people's lives, and they were there with the person when they were going through something. They were there with the person when they were triumphant. Music, songs, actors. Mark Hamill will forever be known as Luke Skywalker. No matter what other role he does, no matter what other, he's like one of the best. He is, to me, he is the Joker, the voice of the Joker on Batman the Animated Series. So, but no matter what he does, he's always Luke Skywalker, So that can be you as well. Like, that sucks for the actor, but it also is really good because he puts something so great out there. Tupac, Biggie, James Taylor, they put something so great out into the universe that they forever have a place in the hearts and minds of people that experience their music or experience their art forever. And you can do the same thing with the podcast. If you're putting out quality content, no matter if you die, no matter if the podcast ends, and it's not going to end because you're going to keep going, but it's not going to end before you want it to. but you'll always have that place in the minds and hearts of your listeners. If you're putting out quality content, it's going to live on, and you're going to affect the world. You're going to change the world by putting out good quality, by putting out your best. But you can never become your best unless you continue to go and continue to grow. I'll end it there. Thank you guys for watching today. I'm Raz, host of the Pod on the Go show. And yeah, thank you guys for coming back another week. I appreciate you watching and listening. Please go check out the website, podonthego.com. You can see the archive of all the old shows. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff. And yeah, I appreciate you guys. Peace out.